Hi, readers! Today we're really going to focus on collaborating to create a culture of reading. I notice that many of you read at home and log your reading every night. And this is great and amazing work. But in order to read intensely, we need a quiet place that we really enjoy reading in. Think for a minute. What's your quiet space at your home that you read in? What's a space that you know you're not going to be bothered in very much? A space where you know you can do your best work. Take a minute to think. What's your favorite spot? I know for me, my favorite spot is what I call my quiet chair. My quiet chair is actually on my back porch right now because it's so nice outside. And this is a spot for me where I know I can sit, relax, and really focus on what I'm doing. So my quiet chair is outside. I can hear birds chirping. I can sit there with a glass of tea and I can just really read my book. I can really push myself in this spot. Finding that perfect spot is so important when you're at home learning. But finding those books that we really want to read at home is also so important. If you have a really great reading spot, but not a really great book to read, what value does that reading spot really have? So today, instead of me really teaching you a specific skill, we're going to instead really explore an important question. And the question that we're going to explore is what systems or procedures can we establish to help us find books that not only we can read, but that we want to read. We're going to take a few minutes today. And in these few minutes, you're going to write down different procedures or different recommendations that you can think of to get readers to know what books they're going to want to read. It might look something like this. When I'm finding books that we want to read, I need to think of a few different things. I need to think of, well, what systems can I use for recommending books? I need to think about using resources to recommend books. What resources can I use? And I need to think about getting more new books. How can I make sure that people can get books? So we're going to think about these things today. You're going to pause the video for 5 minutes. And when you're paused for these 5 minutes, your job is to jot down your ideas for helping friends in our classroom find books that they want to read. What can you recommend to them to have them want to read? How can you recommend it? And what resources do you need in order to do that? When your 5 minutes is up, press play and we'll think about these different ways that we can help find books we want to read. Okay, I hope you all had a chance to jot down a few things for how we can find books that we want to read. These are some ideas that I was thinking of that you might also have written down. If not, jot them along so that you have these ideas too. When I was thinking of systems for recommending books, one thing I was thinking that could be fun was having friends rate books on a scale of 1 to 2, and then 1 to 10, and then advertising that. Having a chance to actually read a book and rate it, and then tell other people about it, really makes some friends want to read your book. If I read a 10 out of 10 book, I need to share that with other people because they're going to like it too. I was also thinking, as a fun way to recommend books, posting video trailers for good books that you've read, creating something different. I think that'd be so fun. Also, making a site of different blogs and websites that you've come across based on your book. That could be really recommended to someone. And lastly, I was thinking of creating something like a Padlet or just a space where friends can share and chat about books that they're reading. Next, I was thinking about using resources to recommend books. One thing I was thinking of is using our school as a resource and surveying friends in our school, whether at home or in person, to see what are your top 10 books that you like to read. A lot of the times when you give friends a survey, you get really great feedback back. So I think that could be a really great way to use as a resource. I was also thinking making want ads for asking for book recommendations can also really get some friends looking for you for books. If you make a want ad saying, want books about mysteries, that can get someone thinking of, oh, what mysteries have I read that I really liked? And then they can recommend it to you. Posting pictures of new books so that kids know about them also can be a really great way to show. And writing reviews, such as on Padlet, can recommend books for friends. Now, when I was thinking of getting more new books, this one was a little trickier for me. I was thinking, yeah, you can borrow from the library, and right now the library has a lot of online resources for us to use too, but reading online all the time hurts my eyes, and I have to wear my glasses when I'm on a computer for a really long time. So I was trying to think of other ways instead of always being on a computer to read. I was also thinking you could explore books at home. If you have an older sibling, or if you have, a family member who's kept a lot of their books, take a look at their bookshelf. You might be surprised in the books that they actually have there waiting for you. You could also find a way to earn money to buy books, whether that be through chores with your family or maybe even outside activities that can help you. And as always, you can ask for donations in order to get some new books. So readers, this information on finding books that we want to read and how we can recommend those to each other is so important. And our work that we're going to do today is actually try to find a book that we would recommend to someone else. You will find your Padlet link for today's lesson after this video. I want you to click into that Padlet, and in any way you can think of, pick a book you want to read or recommend to someone else and write a review on that book. You can do a scale of 1 to 10 like I talked about. You can advertise your book. You can make a little video trailer of your book. Do whatever is going to make your book a great recommendation. This Padlet that we're going to create today will be super helpful if you're realizing that the book you're reading is a curmudgeon read. It's not a great read. It's not something you like. You're looking for something else. So we have a big job today. Find your Padlet, find a book you would recommend to someone else, and figure out a way that you're going to actually give that book recommendation. I'm so excited to see the books we're going to recommend. Let's get started.